Well, welcome back to Shaun Spins. This is episode 6, and happy summer. Let's take a look at the record we're going to review today. It's a pretty good one here. We got Magnet Men. Now this is... Oh, there goes that buzzer. This is an interesting one. This got Chad, pre-Nirvana. And, there's Tad working on it. That's the stuff from a while ago that they re-recorded. And they only made a couple. Of course we're not going to do this one. Well, what are we doing? We're doing a cassette again. Let's see what we got for the cassette. Here we go. There's nothing on here. What does this mean? The show's canceled? Come on. Looks like someone even played it a little bit. I don't know about all you, but when I would fill these out, I would always use pen, even though I was always told by my dad, use pencil first in case you make a mistake. I went all out and used pen first. Then as I got older, I started decorating them with collaging. I got to the point that decorating music to me was always rectangular, like a CD or record, square. Didn't make much sense. We're not doing this. I mean, what am I going to do? Put this into the computer? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a 4-track recording. I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. Record Store Day was the other day, and they re-released the Toots Funky Kingston album. This is what we're doing. Let's start the show. Nice. Now, first things first, I want to apologize in advance. In my life, I've heard the name of this band said so many different ways. Toots, I've heard Tots. Toots and the Maytals, I've heard Tots and the Maytals. Toots and the Maytals. Toots and the Maytals. So I apologize if I say it wrong, but this is the re-release for Record Store Day, which was the other day for June 12th. They're doing another one in a couple weeks in July. Now, I first got into this band, I believe I got into by hearing other bands covering them, going back, and I remember, too, hearing Funky Kingston, the song, on the title for Miami Ink., the tattoo show. Now, for me, one of the songs that sticks out for them, is the use of a lyric from a song from them, from 5446, with the band Kamen Rider. Now you're probably saying, Shaun, do you have Kamen Rider on record too? Sure. There we go. Probably asking yourself right now, Shaun, what's Kamen Rider? Well, let's take a detour. Well, Kamen Rider is what happens when Operation Ivy breaks up and part of the band becomes Rancid, and part of the band became Kamen Rider. Here's a Kamen Rider 7-inch. Now, the song I heard Kamen Rider used the references on this one. This is Unity music on a song called Midnight Passenger. And Jesse yells out 5447. And on the liner notes, they wrote, I made a mistake. It's a Toot song on 5446. And I think that's probably one of the first real times that the reference to, I can't remember if I heard them on my own before that, but like I said, lots of bands have covered them throughout time. So then I have this CD. Now the interesting thing about this CD is it's Funky Kingston and In the Dark. And it's on one CD. And it's beautiful. Now, one of the things I've noticed, I got used to this track listing for Funky Kingston, and when I picked up the Record Store release, it's the opposite. So the track listing on this one is more of the American style that came out later. The CD is a little different. Let's get into the band a little bit here, too. So let's get into that a little bit. I feel as though the music that comes from Toots and the Maytals is probably some of the most beautiful music to be heard and felt. Just such important roots in the history of music. And the history of music coming from Jamaica. Now, to me, Toots Hilbert is a lot like Otis Redding. Interesting day to speak about Otis Redding since it's the anniversary of the Monterey Pop Festival, and Otis just amazed the crowd during that performance, and I feel as though Toots can do the same thing. Sadly, we lost Toots to COVID-19, and I believe that's the reason for the re-release of the Funky Kingston album on Record Store Day this year. Had a little form-fitting piece of paper on the outside with his name. And so let's get into the release on Record Store Day and what's so different. Well, so here it is, the Record Store release that came out this week. Just a single record. And as I stated earlier, different track listing. This is the later track listing. Now, as I said earlier, it came with this form-fitting piece of paper that went around and folded, and I just tore this piece off, just to remember Toots. It's got his birth date and the day he passed. It's got the quote up here from Lester Bangs. So I slid this in the record. No digital code. I don't know if you've all noticed, but they seem to be disappearing from records lately. Used to be a big selling point in records, like, you buy the record, you get the digital code. Not as much anymore. Came in a regular sleeve, which I seem to always junk up trying to put them in and out. And here's the big difference in this one. We got this turquoise aqua in white. Now, as stated before, color vinyl, I can take it or leave it. Now, the white vinyl is incredibly hard for me to see the grooves, but it is nice with this blue blueberry and the white when it's spinning, particularly this side. It's kind of marbleized. It kind of gives this really nice effect when it's playing. Now, you're probably asking yourself right now, Shaun, is it worth it to get the vinyl? Because sometimes I see the prices skyrocket for these on eBay and other places, such as $69. Woo! I'll tell you, the Record Store Day records are just... They have one of the Record Store Day players, Crosley record players. It's like $400-something right now on eBay. That's ludicrous. I've seen some cheaper on eBay, and I think they only made $2,000. And I usually don't go out for Record Store Day, but this particular record, how much I love it. And it's hard for me to find old copies, similar to try to find old Funkadelic albums. Really, really difficult. And to have a nice copy, and then, like I said, I kind of felt like it was memorial for Toots, and I wanted to get a copy. And I'm glad I did. Now, I've seen cheaper copies. I got this one for like $25, and I've seen some like that on eBay. I think the day of, I even saw one for $100 on eBay, but I bought this one in person here in town, and it was like $25. And they had a few, and I have noticed that the days I go out for Record Store Day, they usually have what I'm looking for. I guess my taste in music might be a little different. Now, is it worth it getting on vinyl compared to the CD I have? Yeah, there's a big difference. Sometimes I can't tell much of a difference. Sometimes I can tell a drastic difference, particularly with Nirvana. I can tell a difference with newer things compared to older. But with the Toots record, not only is the track listing different, and I do like this track listing, and I'll tell you why. One of my favorite songs they do is the cover of Country Roads, which I find to be way better than John Denver's. Just has more soul and personality and emotion to it. But this one has Pressure Drop that a lot of people know, and it's got Funky Kingston. Just a lot of great stuff. But sound-wise, I find that the CD, more bass, I'd say more mids. This is more treble bass. I can hear more guitars. It sounds more natural. So the CD one's kind of full force coming at you, very, very loud when it comes to bass, and just it's kind of got this middle ground. I don't want to say a hiss, but it's different. This is more of a natural feel. So I'm really glad I went out and got it. The track listing's interesting because I never heard it this way until I got it like this. Because like I said, I've had the CD. It's beautiful. I've sat down multiple times and listened to it, and it goes really, really quick, and each song is as beautiful as the next. As I said earlier, anytime it's snowing out or just a really not a nice day, this album takes me back to where I grew up and to a warmer climate, and it's just a really beautiful, emotional album, and just great, 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 great. Can I say it again? Great music that I imagine a lot of people wish they could record like this or make music like this, and to hear it being made 50 years ago with less technology, that's a beautiful thing. And it's a beautiful thing how it stood the test of time. So if you get a chance, try to get your hands on a copy from Record Store Day this year. It's worth it. Like I said, I know a lot of the other albums sell for more, but I feel as though Funky Kingston's probably the best from Record Store Day this year. It's the only album I picked up. So with that, wish everyone well. Until next time, take care.